me in 3, 2, 1, go!
Welcome to finals match number 2. 190 Gumpy on the herd coming out of swinging, placing a coral onto the reef zone. Meanwhile, looking over at the red lines, we see Team 78 and Team 88 both having some coral, trying to see them place them on the reef zone. 88 placing one on the top level. 78 trying to see if they can match them, matching them on the top level. 190 Gumpy on the herd, placing another piece of coral on the top level. Now going into the teleoperated period. 190 Gumpy on the herd, having a piece of coral, placing it up onto the top reef. Meanwhile, 1768 removing some algae. 5962 Persevere, heading over to the blue line side. 348 hanging out on the red line side. Meanwhile, 88 and 78, one placing coral, one removing algae and placing them up on the top side. 1768 placing the algae and the coral, placing the coral up onto the middle of the reef. 78 bringing up some algae to the net. Meanwhile, 190 heading over to the coral processor to go and get some more coral. 78 having a coral in their possession, trying to see them place it up on the high level. That looks promising. Meanwhile, 88 trying to see them place some coral on the mid-level, and that looks good in the reef zone. 190 Gumpy and the herd removing the algae. The final piece of algae that was needed for the Red Alliance side. 1768 having a piece of coral, trying to see them place it up on the mid-reef with 190. 78 also removing the last piece of algae from the Blue Alliance reef zone. 88 placing up a piece of coral. 5962 hanging out in the Blue Alliance side. 348 also hanging out on the Red Alliance side. 190 Gumpy and the herd trying to see if they can grab some coral. 1768 also trying to see if they can grab some coral. 78 trying to go to their coral processor, but 5962 is making that a little bit difficult for 78 at the moment. 88 having a piece of coral in their possession, trying to see if they can get some coral and bring it over to the reef zone. 1768 having coral in their possession, placing it onto the level 3 reef. 78 placing a piece of algae up onto the net. That sound does mean there are 20 seconds remaining in finals match number 2. 1768 heading straight for the cage. 78 heading straight for the barge. 88 heading straight for the barge. 190 heading for the barge. 348 heading for the barge. We see one robot up, two robots up. Could we see 3 and 4? As time expires, we will have an official score for you here. Blue Alliance with the score of 176 to 140. Going into finals match number 3, as the Red Alliance and the Blue Alliance both have 1-1 wins.